Hey Aries, I'm Empress Rose and welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so they might apply, they might not apply perfectly to every Aries out there. So just take what works, leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. If you'd like a personal reading, feel free to book one. The information's in the description. So these have all been pre-shuffled and prepared before I even got here. So we're asking for an accurate message for Aries. Well, actually, thank you for the accurate message we are about to receive for Aries. What does Aries need to know this week? What does Aries need to know this week? Everything's sticky. It got really hot here all of a sudden. My hands are sticky. Everything's sticky. Okay. Well, they wanted to come out together, so they did. Oh, wow. Okay. So we have home in the sky. There's a little stagnation energy. Actually, this one kind of changes interpretation based on what else is going on. But initially, it's about, well, it is about being stuck at home and being stuck somewhere with, and nothing's moving, nothing's going anywhere. You could fly away, but you're not. There's a lot of silence, not a lot of talking. And you might be kind of getting comfortable with things kind of being up in the air here. Things just being stagnantly unsettled all the time. Like, look at this. It's got a smog feel to it. They're sort of suspended in air. They're not going anywhere. So there's no breeze here. There's no freshness coming through. There's a lot of stasis and a lot of things not changing. And then we have touch the sky. So we have you dreaming about, you're withholding a message. You're not talking about it, but you're dreaming about things. You're imagining your future. You're imagining letting these dreams free, letting these messages fly. What would it be like if you talked about these things that you're not talking about in this one, not communicating about? What would it be like if you communicated about that? And it's a good feeling. You're liking how that might feel to talk about it. And then we have possibly one of my favorite cards in this whole deck. This is my dear friend. This is someone who's been with you for the long haul. Maybe not physically, but they've been with you. I never get this card anymore. I love it so much. This is the support, mutual support. You've maybe only been connected through the mind, but not only, but that's been like a real intellectual connection where your minds are in sync and on the same path. And so this has been a long journey, actually. You've been together for a very long time. This has a companion card earlier on in the deck when you're both children, or this is a little fawn, and you're both children, and you're sort of creating that initial bond of pet and pet caretaker, so this is something that you've really bonded with, and you're sort of entwined with, and you've been together for a long time, and they've been a very faithful companion, my dear friend. So now we're going to move to the Moonology deck. These messages this is a newish deck to me. These messages are coming in, are very clear, and sometimes almost confusingly clear, if that makes sense. It's just like so blunt, which is so fascinating for a moon deck to be just so blunt, but that's actually why I got it. Needed a little bluntness sometimes. Okay, meditate and contemplate. So new moon in Pisces. So you're at the beginning of a new emotional cycle, a new emotional journey. You're having new feelings about something. And it's time to just kind of get comfortable with those new feelings. We have a water vibe here. Interesting. These are all very airy signs here. And then we have a water, and then the full moon in Virgo, which you are enough. So dealing with some self-esteem issues, some self-worth issues. You are enough. You don't have to prove it. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be anything that you are not right now. You are enough, and you're exactly where you need to be. You may not, it's tempting to not feel that way, but you are enough as is. So time to get used to your emotions. And this is some sort of it's interesting because you are enough is something that shouldn't need validation. Actually, you need to know that without validation. You need to know that you are enough without anyone having to tell you that, anyone, without needing other people to, I mean, we need other people and we need relationships and we need connections, but this is, so this is also some sort of real world reward, some sort of real world recognition though. Even though you are enough without the recognition, it doesn't change anything fundamental about you just because other people recognize that you have been successful in something, or just because other people recognize it doesn't mean that that changes the fabric of your being. You were enough before it was recognized. But this shows a potential for recognition this week. And then you have this meditate and contemplate, and I feel like it's a little bit like what we've got here with this silence and the contemplation vibe here. So meditate and contemplate here. All right, and then we're going to move to the Santa Muerte deck. Let me make sure it's situated right. And these have all been very, very thoroughly shuffled before I turned on the camera. I have such a weird energy this afternoon. I don't know if you can tell, but everything feels a little strange today. All right, so Aries. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. All right. All right, in your recent past, you've had some real emotional, fulfilling experiences here. You have your treasure chest full of emotional cups, silver value. You have a heart that's full. You've unlocked this. So you've unlocked sort of a new emotional level here. But it's very fulfilling. You've already fulfilled this emotional quest in a way. And then you're heading, your home shore is right there. So you're heading home fast with your booty. So you've got a full emotion. In the recent past, you've experienced a fullness of emotion, a full emotional heart, full of gratitude and excitement, and it's unlocked, it's yours, and you were just heading towards the shore with it. The present moment, you're experiencing a tower moment, which is sort of things being upended. This can be like a shift in perception, a paradigm shift, understanding and seeing the world in a totally new way. You know, like when you would lay on the floor and look up at the ceiling and imagine that the ceiling was the floor, and what would the room look like that way? And like you'd have to jump over the doorways, like so that's what this is like a paradigm shift, seeing the world upside down, or experience. Sorry, my phone, I gave it some sort of instruction and didn't understand the full ramifications of it. So now whenever anyone sends me an email, it just stops recording, or a text. I don't understand. So I've done something. I have to go back and retrace my steps and undo that. So, but anyway, this is like an upheaval, an interruption, like we just experienced an upheaval. But I'm seeing this as a paradigm shift because these birds are like stuck at home. So, but this could be in some other arena in your life where there is some real upheaval, but it could just be some upheaval in your perception and a paradigm shift, or everything's just shifting. This can be, I've experienced this card as just my whole life getting turned upside down in a single day kind of thing. So just that's something that might be going on with your present situation right now. It could be situational, external, or internal. Either way, in this presentation, we don't get a clear explanation. In this presentation, we do get a clear explanation, and this has been in many of the readings this week, the Temperance card. So this is your mixologist, your bartender. She's mixing the parts of the drink and making something delicious and something more palatable than either one of these things were going to be separately. So, you know, she's taking a little desert, a little jungle, mixing them together for a more temperate climate that we can grow things in. So you're having some extreme emotions and some extreme, everybody is this week, a lot of extreme emotions, a lot of imbalanced internally. Some people way worse, way harsher than others. But so you have this internal imbalance of your emotions, and you're sorting them out. You're trying to find some balance here. And what I find interesting is we have this new moon in Pisces here, also very similar to this Temperance card of these two watery elements finding balance with each other. So that's what's going inside, is a quest, possibly not a completion, but a quest for some internal sense of balance and well-being. At issue is this King of Pentacles. So this is either being very controlling. Somebody is being extremely controlling, and that's creating an issue for you. You could be being extremely controlling. You'll definitely know. Well, most of the time you'll know what the culprit is of the controlling, and very stingy, not sharing. So I'm getting that with this too, this not sharing, not talking. So someone could be just holding on, clinging a little bit. This is a really controlling vibe though. And controlling of money, controlling of assets, very stubborn, very stubborn. So someone in this situation is extremely stubborn right now, and it's creating a problem for this whole thing. And then in your environment, you have the King of Wands. So you have this, in your environment, you have another king. This could be male or female, but it's someone who is very inspiring, very exciting, is pointing the way, is helping you, is here to help you, here to inspire you, and here to point you in the right direction and in the right way. They are very intuitive, and they're going to be able to guide you and very clearly lead you somewhere. So it could be this dear friend that's intuitively leading and guiding and inspiring you to move forward. Honestly, it looks like he's pointing at the past. And it looks like he's pointing at this Nine of Cups card. So he could be pointing to the past, to a previous time when you felt fulfilled. So this person in your life could be... is very inspired, is very inspiring, very in touch with their intuition, and could also be trying to bring your attention to a past situation in which there was a lot of fulfillment, and reminding you of that time, and causing you to look back on a time when you felt more fulfilled and more emotionally rich. Not quite as emotionally stingy. Like this King of Pentacles is very reverse, is very emotionally stingy. So in your to-do list, you have the Lovers. So the Lovers this card is about being offered a key to open the heart, open the path of heart. There might be some team effort here. And this key to opening this path of heart. So this is a decision, and usually it's about, we have some decisions that we can make with our pro-con list, and that are really logical and really make a lot of sense. And it's easy to explain to other people. It's easy to, you could defend it in a court of law. You'd have all these things. And then there's there's this other path. That's the path of heart. And the path of heart is not, isn't easy to explain. It's an intuitive path. And it doesn't come out on top on your pro-con list. It's outside of the pro-con list, and it's the path of heart, and it's divinely guided. And so are you going to take that path, or are you going to stick with the path that you could defend in a court of law and explain to everybody exactly why you did what you did? But this is when you're just like, I did what I did. I don't know. That's what happened. This is like, if you're thinking about going into the arts or something like that, the arts, no aspect of that is going to, except for art law, even that is questionable, is going to show up as the winner of your pro-con list. You don't go into the arts because it makes sense and it's logical. You go into the arts because it's a path of heart, and it's your intuition and your instinct draws you towards it. So that's a choice that you need to make. And this is definitely, it's up to you, but this is definitely encouraging you to make the choice of following your intuition, because it is a connection to the divine, and it is being divinely laid out. And then here we have, as a possible outcome, is your strength card. Especially if you're going to decide the path of heart, you're going to have a situation in which all of your strength is going to be needed to deal with it. So you're going to need to be very strong to go on this path, but you are good enough. You do have enough. You have this friend with you, this old friend that could also be this King of Wands energy, that's going to be supporting you in this journey. So you need to be meditating and contemplating to make sure that the decision you make, you can at least defend in your heart. There are several decisions where it's like, why did we do that? And you need to just know that it just 100% felt very clear that that's what you needed to do. And that's where you have to go and you maybe record it, write it down, how you felt. The pro-con list is really good. It's really important to look at that and then look at that. And sometimes we say, and anyway, I'm going to do this other thing but I've looked at what the sacrifices are. I see that. And then go with what makes sense to you. And this path is going to require all of your strength. That's why it's the path of heart. If it was easy, more people would take it, but it's not. So this is saying that the possible outcome is a situation that requires all of your strength to not control, but just to deal with it, So, but you do have that strength. You are good enough, but you do need to do a period of meditation and contemplation before you move forward. This is probably going to cause this paradigm shift. And you're going to have to do some internal work to get good with that. This controlling, stingy energy is sort of blocking it. This might be a path that this stingy energy isn't going to like. It can't see how that's going to work out for you or how that's going to pay the bills eventually. So this can be a lack of professional success as well. Not being as professionally successful as you would like to be. But it looks like you've got a guide, you've got some inspiration. And right now it is time for dreaming, but if you do make this choice to go down the path of heart and the path that's calling you, even though it might not make perfect sense, you are going to require all of your strength. It is going to require a lot of strength and commitment to that. All right, Aries. Well, I hope that this was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate your likes and comments and subscribes. They're helping my channel grow bit by bit every week. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful week.